Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another Chart Nerd TA update. I'm going to be diving back into EVERDOME today, and going to be looking at some smaller time frames actually. So if I come off this, because right now we're on the weekly. Okay, I'm sorry you can't see it, but I'm going to be going down to the 4 hour. So this is the 4 hour time frame, just to be clear, guys. Now, you know, I was saying in yesterday's video that we are holding this foundation level of support right here. Okay, which is something like this, around this sort of level. Okay. I'm going to go to the bottom of the wick actually. This is your support level, okay? If this low right here is lost, okay, if this low is lost, you can see we're having multiple contacts of resistance on the support, on the 4 hour. But if this gets lost and we start to turn this into resistance and get turned away, I would be expecting something like this again for Dome, okay? I would be expecting a nasty sort of capitulation down. Now the reason for that, in my opinion, is because this sort of pattern that we're creating here, where we're continuously getting rejected by the 20 EMA continuously, we're forming these lower lows on ourselves. Okay, we're forming these sort of lower lows, where, as I said, look, you've got resistance on this trend line, you've got resistance on this trend line, and now you've got resistance on this trend line again. And this is basically squeezing us into a corner. We are getting some sort of price compression here. And this pattern that we're currently in is actually a very bearish pattern. It's called a descending triangle of some sort. You know, it's not a perfect one, but technically speaking, from a charting point of view, it's a descending triangle. And unfortunately, you know, you have downside targets from the, I think I want to, depending on how you look at it, to be fair, I think it could be something like this. Okay, so you've got a technical target. If this support is lost and we do start hitting our heads underneath this and turn this into resistance, as I said earlier, you're looking at a further crash here for Dome of around 29%. Okay, 29%. Right now it's in freefall mode. We discussed this yesterday on the larger time frames. It's in freefall mode. You know, we had a week, I think, where it went up 6,000% on its inception. And you know, what moves up so fast must come down relatively fast, okay? Especially for the conditions of the market last year, where it thrived and everything was going really, really well. And then boom, you know, all the economic factors, on-chain metrics, and whatever else is that affects the market has come into play. And unfortunately, everything has rolled. One negative that I'm seeing here for Dome as well, that I'm not too keen on, guys, is if you look at many other projects, you know, Link, Ethereum, even XRP, you know, XRP hasn't moved very much since this court case and the SEC case, sorry. But, you know, they've had, at least a lot of alts have had a couple of months of green. You know, a couple of months where they've had some sort of relief, but Dome is yet to experience that. Now, it's a bit of a worry because, you know, because it hasn't, just for the simple fact it hasn't. But it's not to say that it could be lagging behind or that it could pick up and have it later than other altcoins, because it could. It really could. You know, so don't quote me on it, but I see it as quite a negative because a lot of projects have picked up from the lows that Bitcoin put in last month, and Dome isn't one of them. Okay, so, you know, just keep that in mind, guys. But as I said, look, you could be in this technical target. We're continuously being rejected by this 4 hour 20 EMA. Okay, this yellow 20 EMA, the yellow line, rejection. You had a little wick up to 55 there, but you got rejected. Rejection. Okay, and because we're getting this price compression here, it does mean some sort of break is coming within the next, you know, it could be today. I'll be honest, it could be today, depending on how the market reacts. You know, if Bitcoin does come back down from, who knows what, 24K, wherever it is now, I'm not too sure what it is. Yeah, 24K. If it goes from 24K to 23K or something like that, I think something like this drop here is very, very likely. Very, very likely. Okay. But yeah, again, guys, this is a negative pattern, okay, that's being formed. There is a percentage to the upside that it could break out if it holds this support. Okay, if it does start to get above this 20 and hold this 20 and come up to the 55, you could get some sort of like EMA squeeze where it's getting caught between the EMAs and then a break is going to occur. Okay, but I think it's something like 70% or 68% of these patterns, these descending triangles, actually play out to the negative downside, to the bearish scenario. Okay, so in the short term, I didn't look into the smaller time frames yesterday. In the short term, in my opinion, if this support is lost, okay, if this support is lost and turned into resistance, okay, this is my technical target down here for Dome to go to on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so, you know, still in freefall mode, in my opinion. It doesn't look like there's much strength at all. I'm gonna get the volume up quickly and see what the volume's like. I mean, it is, for the past week, you can see on the 4 hour, it has shown a bit more volume. Okay, a bit more volume. Quite a lot of sell-offs after that peak there at the 55 though. But, you know, very tricky. It's very, very tricky. It's on thin ice at the moment. It's hard to predict what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and how. As I mentioned, just looking back into the weekly, okay, just look at this for a second, okay? Just look at this. What you could see here is one impulsive move. In 2 weeks, it went up 8,000%. It's not a surprise it's coming down. You know, it's taking a longer time, okay, but it's coming down nonetheless. Now, one positive here on the weekly that I could take away from this is you've got basically got some sort of tailing volume, okay? You got some sort of tailing volume coming down. So this to me also, a tailing volume also indicates some sort of break, okay? What you could see happen is us, you know, keep capitulating a bit further, finding a low, getting that foundation, and then getting a breakout, okay? And being squeezed into this corner before the breakout occurs. In volume as well, okay? So on the weekly, that's one thing to look out for. It just indicates that a break is sort of coming because we are in this sort of choppy pattern here, okay, on the volume. Now again, looking at the weekly RSI, we are extremely oversold here, okay? Extremely oversold. We've been hanging around there literally since, where was we? June, July, August. We've been in here for a few months, okay? Now, not to say that this can't go on for longer. You could come down, find a low, and consolidate sideways, and this RSI could literally just travel sideways with it too, okay? But what I want to see here in the near short term is Dome start to pick up somewhere and just sort of form some sort of foundational structure at the bottom, you know, where it can just range for a little bit before getting a breakout and attacking these EMAs. Like this is on the weekly. Well, another thing that's quite positive, sorry I'm getting into quite a few things here, okay? On the short term it doesn't look good, on the 4 hour it doesn't, you know, and it's potentially still room for a low, but you're quite extended from this EMA on the weekly, okay? And when you get this big gap to the downside, you normally at least have some sort of relief rally back up into it before getting continuation, and you either lose the low and you get a further low, or you break above and off you go again, okay, attacking highs, all-time highs and stuff. But it's just so hard to predict, you know. In my eyes, what this could look like right here on the weekly is some sort of, you could have this could be an A, a B, and right now we're going through some zigzag 1, 2, 3 ABC wave down, you know, trying to find support, but it's just where the C wave ends, okay. Equally, I think I had what did I have? A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And this is your wave 5 down of Elliott wave theory as well. So what you've got to look at, there's loads of ways to look at this, but in my opinion, this is not the low yet. I don't think it is the low. We've got bearish structure on the 4 hour, okay, which could indicate a further, I think it was like a 20% dip, you know, because you can see that when you are getting rejected by these EMAs, you do sort of like, once you come up above and you get rejected, you have a nasty dip, okay? And now once you come up and you're attacking them, nasty dip, okay? Now you're coming up, attacking them, you could have a nasty dip, okay? And you're basically, the trend is your friend until the end. Once you're under these EMAs and you're hitting your head, you're in a downtrend, okay? Once you're under these yellow and red lines, you're in a downtrend. When you're above them, that indicates an uptrend. But then again, you see we come straight back under, continuation of the downtrend, and this here was a bit of a fake out, looking to hold support for the break, but we didn't. We lost it, turned it to resistance, and therefore we've been capitulating again. So right now, as I said, it's in freefall mode. But yeah, a lot of people are giving up on this project. A lot of people are losing faith. And, you know, if you just look at the fundamentals of the project, what it's getting done, its roadmap, you know, it's completed Q1, it's completed its tasks for Q2 nearly now. You know, it's doing what it said it's going to be doing, but people are so focused on the price. You know, just sit back, relax, and trust your investment. You know, you wouldn't have got it in the first place otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Not financial advice, guys. I'm knees deep in EVERDOME, sorry. And I've staked quite a bit in it, you know, and I just have to sit back and relax and just see what happens, you know. But yeah, that's a quick update for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Just looking at the smaller time frames a little bit. Short term, bearish in my opinion. Looking for you know, if we lose support, 20%, 20 to 25% downside. The bullish scenario, you know, looking at the weekly indicators, we're extended from the EMA. We could be looking for some sort of relief whenever this wave ends, okay? Because this is an impulsive wave down. Wherever the support is, that makes all the difference. So, yeah, guys. Until next time, from ChartNet TA, take care.